Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Easy English Conversations. Today, David and I have a really interesting topic, something I think many of us can relate to. David, can you guess what it is?
Knowing you, Emma, it's probably something about a challenge you undertook. Did you, perhaps, try to go a whole day without your coffee? Because that would be quite a feat for you.
Laps. Very funny, David. But no, not coffee this time. Though that's also a good one. No, this challenge was even bigger, I think. I spent a whole day without my phone.
Wow, a whole day without a phone? That's brave, Emma. I mean, in today's world, our phones are practically extensions of ourselves, aren't they? How did that even come about? What made you decide to do it?
Exactly. That's exactly why I wanted to try it. I realized I was spending so much time just scrolling. Checking emails, social media, news, even just looking at the time. It felt like it was always in my hand or right next to me. I wanted to see what would happen if I just put it away for a full 24 hours.
I completely understand that feeling. I've had similar thoughts. It's like a habit, a reflex. You pick it up without even thinking. So tell us, what was the first thing you noticed? What was the hardest part?
Oh, the first thing was definitely the morning. You know how most of us wake up and the first thing we do is reach for our phone? To turn off the alarm, check messages, see the weather, maybe look at Instagram? Well, I used an old-fashioned alarm clock for this, so that was different.
An actual alarm clock? Wow, I haven't used one of those in years. So no checking news or social media first thing. How did that feel?
It felt strange at first, a bit empty. I had this urge, this phantom vibration feeling, like I was missing something important. But then, a few minutes later, I noticed I actually had more time. Instead of lying in bed scrolling, I got up, made some tea, and just sat by the window, watching the city wake up. It was actually quite peaceful.
That sounds lovely, actually. I can imagine that. I mean, my morning routine is usually alarm, check emails, check news headlines, maybe a quick look at sports scores, and suddenly an hour has passed. So, what did you do to fill that time, especially during your commute or if you were waiting for someone?
That was another big one. Usually on the train, I'm either listening to a podcast on my phone, or reading articles, or just playing a simple game. Without my phone, I had to find other things to do. I actually brought a physical book with me, which I haven't done in ages. And you know what? It was really nice. I read a few chapters and felt so much more focused than when I try to read on my phone.
A physical book, that's a classic. I used to do that all the time. There's something special about turning actual pages, isn't there? I guess the biggest challenge for me would be navigation. I mean, I rely on my phone for maps all the time. Did you have any problems getting around?
Oh, that's a great point. And yes, that was a moment of panic. I had to meet a friend at a new cafe across town. Normally, I'd just type it into Google Maps and follow the directions. But without my phone, I actually had to wait for it. Use a paper map. Laps.
Laps loudly. A paper map. Emma, you're taking us back to the Stone Age. Did you even know how to fold it properly?
It was a challenge, I won't lie. But it was also kind of fun. I had to pay more attention to street names and landmarks. And I actually asked someone for directions. A real person. It felt oddly connecting, in a way. Like I was more present in the world around me, not just looking down at a screen.
That's a really interesting point about asking someone for directions. We've become so self-sufficient with our phones that we sometimes forget the simple human interaction of just asking for help. How did your friend react when you showed up without your phone? Were they worried you were lost?
That's a good question. They actually messaged me a few times asking if I was on my way or if I found the place, and I couldn't reply. So when I arrived, a little bit late, they were definitely relieved. I explained my challenge and they thought it was really interesting. It actually led to a great conversation about our phone habits.
So, it improved your real-life conversations too. That's a huge benefit. What about during lunch or coffee breaks? Usually, people are just looking at their phones, even when they're with others.
Exactly. That's what I noticed. My friend and I were the only ones at our table not looking at a screen at some point. It was refreshing. I felt more engaged in our conversation, I listened better, and I actually looked around the cafe. I noticed the decor, the other people, things I usually just miss because my head is down.
That's a powerful observation. We miss so much of the world around us when we're constantly glued to our devices. Did you feel less stressed or more present throughout the day without the constant pings and notifications?
Absolutely, David. That was one of the biggest takeaways. In the beginning, there was a little anxiety, the fear of missing out, or FOMO as people call it. But as the day went on, that feeling really lessened. I felt calmer. I wasn't constantly checking for updates or worrying about replies. It was quite freeing, honestly.
That's incredible. I mean, we talk about mindfulness and being present, and it sounds like taking a break from your phone is a really practical way to achieve that. What about productivity? Did you find yourself more productive at work or with your tasks?
Definitely. At work, I usually have my phone on my desk, and even if it's on silent, I sometimes glance at it. That little glance can turn into 5 minutes of checking something. But without it there, I just focused on my computer screen, on my actual work. I got a lot more done, and I felt less distracted throughout the day.
So, less context switching, less mental energy wasted on notifications. That makes a lot of sense. And what about the evening? How did you unwind without being able to just scroll or watch videos on your phone?
The evening was another interesting part. Instead of watching TV and simultaneously checking my phone, I just focused on the TV show. Or I put on some music and did some tidying up around the house without any distractions. I even started sketching again, which I haven't done in years. It was a very creative and relaxing evening, actually.
That's amazing. You reconnected with a hobby. It really sounds like this challenge forced you to be more intentional with your time and attention. So, after the 24 hours were up, what was your overall feeling? Were you happy to get your phone back, or did you feel a sense of loss for the quiet?
It was a mix of feelings. I was a little relieved to have it back for practical things, like checking my schedule for the next day or quickly looking up something I needed to remember. But I also felt this strong sense of accomplishment and a bit of sadness that the quiet was over. I realized how much I had missed just being in the moment.
So, it wasn't just about disconnecting from the phone, but reconnecting with yourself and your surroundings, right? That's a beautiful way to put it. Do you think you'll do this again or change your phone habits permanently?
Definitely. I don't think I can go completely phone-free for extended periods because of work and family, but I'm certainly going to be more mindful. I've decided to put my phone away during meals and definitely not check it first thing in the morning or last thing at night. I want to bring back more of that quiet time, that intentional time.
Those are excellent goals, Emma, and I think many of our listeners might be inspired to try something similar. Even just an hour or a few hours without their phone could make a big difference. What advice would you give to someone who wants to try a day without a phone challenge, especially if they're a beginner at digital detox?
That's a great question. My first piece of advice would be, don't be afraid to prepare. Tell your friends and family you'll be unreachable for a day, so they don't worry. Charge your old alarm clock if you have one. And definitely have a backup plan for entertainment. A book, a notebook, a board game, anything you can enjoy without a screen.
Preparation is key for any challenge, right? And what about the mental aspect? How do you deal with that initial feeling of missing out?
I'd say, just acknowledge it. It's okay to feel that little bit of anxiety. It's a habit you're breaking. But then, try to redirect that energy. Instead of reaching for your phone, pick up that book, go for a walk, or just sit quietly and observe. You'll be surprised at how quickly that feeling goes away and is replaced by something else, something calmer.
That's really valuable advice. So instead of fighting the feeling, you just accept it and then change your focus. I think that's something we can all apply to many areas of our lives, not just phone use. I'm actually feeling quite inspired to try this myself now.
You should, David. It's an eye-opening experience. And for our listeners, if you try it, let us know how it goes. Use it as an opportunity to practice your English by writing down your thoughts, or even talking about it with a friend in English.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic way to reflect and articulate your feelings, and it shows that daily life situations can be great learning opportunities for English. Thank you, Emma, for sharing your adventure with us. It's given me a lot to think about.
My pleasure, David, and thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed this conversation and learned some new English phrases about daily routines and digital habits. Remember to be present, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye for now, everyone.